Next question's a big one, and it's about brain tumors. So this question is coming in from Jab, if that's your name, from Perth. I'm asking about chemo specifically to make the process any smoother. So are you actually on here? It'd be really good to know what kind of brain tumor. Is it like an astrocytoma? Is it a glioblastoma? Is it a angio? Like, what is it? And without speaking to that, without knowing, I've worked with few individuals before that have had pretty major brain tumors and extended water fasting. One of them only went, I think, 10 days, 7 to 10 days on water, but went through massive mental and emotional clearing and had a huge 86% reduction in a 3.5 centimeter brain tumor. And that was a more aggressive brain tumor. And then he went on to change his diet and lifestyle for many years. Never, as far as I know, for many years I followed him afterwards. Never had chemo or surgery. Another guy went to what's called a Vipassana 10-day meditation retreat and also did fasting, completely cleared his brain tumor, which is pretty awesome. And I've worked with a few women that have had some success, and brain tumors are a tough one. I would say that if this individual wants to go through the process of chemotherapy, it's understandable. I totally get it. And what I'd recommend is designing the chemotherapy in a way that mitigates the negative side effects of the chemo, while also potentially supporting the die-off of cancer. And there is an article, if you just type into a Google browser, USC, that's University of Southern California, fasting and chemotherapy. It'll bring up this entire article from Professor Longo from the University of Southern California, gets into the science, and I've been doing this for many years with many clients that have had cancer, and that's to design their cancer treatment in a way that mitigates the negative effects. And essentially what you have to do is fast for 3 days on water only, or no calories, no sugars for 3 days, which puts all of the cells into a self-protection mode. And then the chemotherapy can come in and do what chemotherapy does, which is pretty much killing everything. And what happens is cancer cells become more susceptible and weak, therefore making chemotherapy more effective, while also all of your cells are in self-protection mode so they don't take on the negative effects of the chemotherapy. And that needs to be designed intelligently. I'd recommend working with a coach to do that. And it has to be spaced out. And depending on the individual as well. If the individual is overweight, they're probably not going to have a problem designing a program. But if they're very trim or thin or emaciated, then it needs to be dealt with very carefully, because doing fasting in conjunction with chemotherapy is going to cause a lot of weight loss. And so typically the best way to design a treatment with an oncologist is to take about 6 weeks break in between each treatment, and then doing a pretty full-on treatment every 6 weeks, so that you can do 3 days of fasting, then the treatment for the 1 day, one treatment, and then have 5 or 6 weeks to recover and get all the good nutrition and build back up, and then do it again. And typically they'll go through about anywhere from 5 to 7 or 8 rounds of that, and be able to measure the size of the tumor and what's happening and whether it's effective. I would also recommend maybe exploring immunotherapies as well, and essentially fasting and lifestyle and going the natural route. That's what we're doing, is we're addressing immunotherapies directly by resetting the immune system, removing the causal agents, and trying to be successful completely naturally.